back to another episode of What's Cooking. I'm your host, Suraia Schiceya. Today in the kitchen, I am so excited to say that we have a doctor on board. But she's not just the doctor, she has the passion and the love for anything that happens in the kitchen. Whether it's baking or cooking, you name it, she is ready to dive right into that. But before we get to meet her, we just like to thank Kitchen 82 as well as Metro and Coca-Cola for sponsoring this episode. And we're back, and as promised, I have a very special guest in the kitchen with me, and I cannot wait to get my hands dirty with this recipe. With me in the kitchen, we have, as I said, a doctor, but also someone who loves being in the kitchen. We have Dr. Suraia Schiceya.
Hi.
Welcome to my kitchen.
Thank you, Patricia.
I am so excited to be here with you. But before we dive into this recipe, why don't you tell us, our viewers, just a bit of who you are?
Okay, where do I start? As a person, I would like to believe that I'm a kind and loving person. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I'm a medical doctor by profession, more into mental health. And I also love all things kitchen. If it's baked in the kitchen, if it's cooked in the kitchen,
you're there.
I'm there. Yeah, so that's basically me. So I'm just passionate. Because I'm in the field of mental health.
Yeah.
People find different ways of therapy, right? So my therapy is the aroma of the food, the aroma of something baking in the oven, just knowing that that's vanilla that's baking there. So whatever stresses, it just calms me down. That's me. I can spend 4 or 5 hours in the kitchen.
Yeah.
After that, I'll forget whatever was the problem.
That is so
that's
beautiful.
My therapy, yeah.
That's so
therapeutic
beautiful.
to me.
So before we dive in again, why don't you tell us about the dish that we'll be making today?
Okay, so we're gonna make, I don't know why I like to call it Portuguese chicken. Not that the chicken came from Portugal. but
we don't know that.
I don't know, maybe it's from Portugal. Yeah, so I call it baked chicken, but it's just basically a mixture of, it gives you like a sweet and sour flavor to it, where I put different condiments in it, put it in the oven to bake for a couple of minutes. Then we're gonna have it with savory rice with a little twist of sous, not your ordinary savory rice. And then we're gonna end it off with a green salad.
That sounds absolutely
So at least
delicious.
it's a balance. So you got your proteins, you got your carbs, and you got your veggies.
Your greens there on the side.
Yeah.
Well, as we always do it here at What's Cooking, I am just your assistant.
Okay.
You are our main chef. I am here to help you where you need it.
Sure.
So why don't we get started?
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
First thing you want to do, you always want to start with the one that takes the longest to cook.
The chicken.
So yeah, the chicken is gonna bake for 30 to 45 minutes. Okay. So let's rather start it. So what I like to do is, so I start with ginger. So make sure your hands are clean. My hands are
always
clean.
wash the hands before we start to dive into the kitchen.
So we got some ginger and garlic here.
I just love the smell of garlic. I don't think you can ever go wrong with garlic.
With garlic, no. If it doesn't have garlic, I don't want. And then we got
I love that way of thinking. It's the way to go.
So we got some Portuguese spice. All right, just open it a bit here.
So besides, you said you love the kitchen. Is there a venture when it comes to your kitchen? Do you have a side business? Can you tell us more about that part of your life?
Yes. So this passion ended up bringing in me some extra income, all thanks to my husband, who was just like, why are you just wasting all this on us, on family? Because I like family gatherings. So whenever there's a family gathering, I always want to be the one to host. Call me selfish. I'm just like, come to my house. I will cook.
Let me serve you.
Yeah, let me serve you. So that's actually how it started. So I always like to be the one to cook, to have the family around, bake bread, like it's just so many different things, bake, just make sure everything is done in the kitchen. And then he was like, one time he's like, why don't you just do this as a side hustle? Like, why don't you also cook for other people? And I was like, I don't know. And then one time we were in the kitchen. I think my little brother was in the kitchen. I don't know what he was looking for. And then my husband just said, don't go in Sue's kitchen. she doesn't like people in her kitchen. So that's how the name came from. So I actually
Kitchen.
have a business, yeah. It's called Sue's Kitchen. So that's where everything. So I bake, I do catering as well for corporates or birthday, baby shower, bridal shower, you name it. Then I also have a product. It's actually a new product. It's Sue's Kitchen. So it's pre-mixes. You know how we have pre-mixes
Yeah, for the muffins and
the
the
muffins,
cookies and stuff.
exactly.
Yes.
So I came up with one where it's a package that you do. You can either have a cake from it, you can have a cupcake from it, or you can actually have cookies from it, all in one.
Okay.
Yes, Namibian.
3 in 1.
3 in 1.
Yes.
Yeah, and so the idea also sparked from just having these mummies that don't know how to bake, or maybe don't have the time to bake, but they want
Yeah.
to have that bonding with their child or their children. So it makes it easier. You don't have to start from scratch all the
Yeah.
time. So you just have the package. You just add the wet ingredients, which is now your eggs, your buttermilk or
Yeah.
milk, and yeah, you're good to go because everything is already in the package.
I did a bit of digging on the Instagram
Okay.
as a host should. I did my research.
Okay.
And I did see that you also give out like healthy plan advice, eating advice. You prep meals for people. Is that also something that you still do? Is it something you want to take further?
Yes. So I because of my medical background, I'm very cautious about non-communicable diseases, which is now your high blood pressures and your diabetes, for example. Basically, illnesses that are preventable, but usually come about because of poor
Lifestyle. Yes.
choices. So when a client comes to me and they say, what type of foods do you make? I'm like, what do you want? What is your goal?
Yeah.
So I also do tell them also, I'm also a doctor by profession. So like, don't feel shy but if you feel like it's too TMI, it's okay. So I want to know like, what health conditions do you already have? So at least I'll custom make your meal plan according to what you already have. Or if you don't have anything, then obviously I'll make it a, I want to know what your goal is. How can I help you achieve your goal with the meal plans? So some want to lose weight, some want to gain weight, some want to gain muscle, for example. Some are on a special diet. Maybe they just want to cut out all types of sugar. So they just want me to help them just for the beginning, the first 3 months. How do they navigate a lifestyle without sugar, for example?
Because I can imagine how difficult it would be for your everyday individual who drinks their 3 sugars in their coffee to come to you and be like, I want to cut it off completely. And without help, it can be very difficult to find that balance of getting off the sugar into a more balanced, healthy meal prep and plan.
Yeah, I make sure that we don't do cold turkey because I'm completely against cold turkey. So we do it. So if you were 3 teaspoons per day, let's go down to 2.5. Then we go to 2 and
slowly
1.
get yourself
getting
used
there,
to it.
And not just like, listen, cut out the 3
Such
sugar.
an aggressive
it's
approach
aggressive.
to it. It's,
No. So we do it slowly but steadily. So at least eventually when you get in there, you've felt the process, you've been through the process from the very beginning and not just cold turkey out.
Yeah. No, that's a great approach. Before we continue this lovely count, do you need me to oil this nice red pan for you?
Just oil it
Cute
here.
little brush.
Yes.
You said that your husband is the one that encouraged you basically to start Sue's Kitchen.
Yes.
That must be so amazing. So what advice can you give to a mom, a wife, a working woman in the field who has that passion for something, whether it's cooking, whether it's designing, whether it's music? Can you give them any advice in terms of balancing the two worlds? Because let's be honest, cooking, the kitchen doesn't usually go hand in hand with the field that you are in.
Yeah. I think finding a balance becomes somewhat easier when you're actually passionate about something. Because when you're passionate about something, you actually do create time. You don't feel like you're being forced to do something or you're dragged into, I need to go to that painting class. You want to go to that painting class because you found that painting is serene to you. So you will make time. So what I would usually advise is work out your schedule, see what it is that you do. So whatever it is that it's your main job, your main 8 to 5 or whatever it is, have your time for that. And then the question is, what do you do after that? The remaining 8 hours of the day, what do you do? Because many times people spend time on social media or, I don't know, chatting, and you realize you've got, or Netflixing, And you realize you've got like, you spend 2-3 hours of doing literally almost nothing.
Yeah.
So if you manage your time accordingly, then you'll know, okay, fine, as soon as I get home, I've got 1 hour. This hour is solely to just be with my kids. Let me play with them. Let me get to know how the day was and whatnot. Put them to sleep, put the boo bath time, whatever. Let me get 1 hour. What is that skill that I want to explore more or learn more? I mean, there's so many avenues. There's YouTube or whatever other. Invest in that 1 hour.
Exactly.
And with time, then you'll get to find your niche and know how you're going to be able to balance it.
Oh, that is great advice. Definitely. So besides this chicken that I cannot wait to get into the oven, what else would you say is your favorite dish to make, especially for your kids, husband?
Again, I go back to Portuguese food. I don't know, I like Portuguese cuisine, but I also like to explore other continental cuisines. I like Indian food. I like this. Is it East African, where they like the chapatis and the rice, the pilaf rice. So I like exploring different type of cuisines. But my favorite, honestly, is
the Portuguese dishes.
The Portuguese one, like codfish, creamy codfish. Yeah, that's lovely.
Okay, maybe we should have you back on What's Cooking, you know. Okay, is our chicken ready to go into the oven?
Let me just, my fingers are kind of dirty, but I just want to make sure. Perfect.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's get this in. That looks good though.
So put the chicken in there. All that sauce has to go in there.
Yes, we want to
make
the
sure saucy. Shouldn't be dry. Like there. Okay, so just make sure that every piece is well coated.
Is this a self-taught recipe or something?
To be quite honest, growing up, my cousin used to do this a lot, but I sort of twist and turned it a bit with
You made it a bit your own.
Yeah, because with the more I kept practicing or doing it, the more I found other little niches to put in there, and then now I have my own.
Awesome. Well, while we get this into the oven, we will be right back after this. And we're back and we got busy. As you can see, our kitchen is in the oven. We're gonna go check on that a little bit later. But before we continue with the green salad, Doctor, why don't you let our viewers catch up with us and let them know what we've been up to during the break?
Okay. So what we've been doing, we chopped off some cucumbers, bell peppers, some red onions as well. We also did the mince. We sauteed it with some onions and some green pepper as well. And we also pre-cooked the rice as well. So at least we're gonna just mix the rice in together with the bacon and the mince to have the savory rice. Yeah, awesome. And then now we'll just continue.
Well, I have to say, so far it smells good and it looks good. So it just builds up that I can't wait to see the final dish and I can't wait to taste everything.
Okay.
But let's dive into this because I love myself a green salad. I love it, especially when it has gherkins in it. And as we can see, we have the gherkins right there. So let's dive right into making this green salad.
Okay. So just take the bowl here.
Cute little bowl.
Okay. Get some lettuce.
I always fight with my siblings when it comes to the sizes of the pieces of lettuce because honestly my brother just takes these large chunks and just throws it in.
Oh, wow.
I break it into tiny little slices.
Oh, I don't break them into tiny ones, but I literally just
twist and break.
Just tear and
What's better than throwing the whole piece of lettuce just in there? Like, how does one eat this in a graceful manner? How would you eat that in a graceful manner?
Yes, I just rip it off in little chunks. I don't cut it. I just remove parts.
Okay. So tell us a little bit more about your passion for mental health. Was there a point in your life where it was just a realization that, wow, okay, no, this is something that I need to pursue?
To be quite honest, it's something I fell in love with when I was doing my internship. So initially in medical school, I always thought I was going to be a pediatrician because I love babies. I was just like, every time around babies, I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to be a baby doctor. And then I did internship and I passed and I went to the rotation of pediatrics. And those kids were dying, they were sick, and I was just like, no.
Your heart
I'll
couldn't
love
take
you
it.
from a distance, but I can't love you while you're sick and watch you die. No. So I was just like, nope. And I was like, okay, fine, maybe when you're born, so let me be an OBGYN, let me be an obs and gynae. So maybe let me be there with the mom during the pregnancy, since I still love babies, but I can't see them sick. So I'll see them when they're born, but after that it's like bye-bye.
Yeah.
Then I went there and I don't think I wanna be in a delivery room for the rest of my life. And seeing the placenta being, no, I was like,
Okay,
I was like, nah.
It's a very sensitive field to be in, and you really need to have the stomach for it.
And you have to be passionate, like really, really passionate. Like, are you able to handle those smells for the rest of your career?
Okay.
So
no, there's stuff you need to think about. You know, maybe there's someone out there that considered this, and now you just gave them something to think about.
No, you really have to be passionate about that for you to be in that field. And then I went to orthopedics, which is now bones, and I was like, no, I think I like the hammering and putting in of nails. And I did it actually with my consultant, and he was like, yeah, you're an orthopod, you're born for this. I'm like, yay. And I was like, do I really want to be in theater all those hours? And then I rotated through the mental health department.
Okay.
And there was just I don't know, like I would wake up and I'm so enthusiastic about my day, like my depressed patients and my patients that are having anxiety or they're suicidal. Because it was just so soothing. It was just something about me sitting down with them, interviewing them, trying to understand the root causes of the problem. Why are you depressed? Why are you hearing voices? What is happening? And when we get to the root cause, it brings me joy. I'm like, this is why this is happening, and this is what we can do. This is how I'm going to refer you to the psychologist for psychotherapy. It brought so much joy to my heart that when it was almost the end of the rotation, I was like, I'm definitely coming back. Now this one,
Okay.
Yeah, so that's how, I think it was already there. I just didn't know it was that, because I enjoy speaking to people. I enjoy listening to try and figure out what is the problem. So even family members, when they come and tell me about the issues, I want to understand how did it start, you know?
Yeah.
So that's how I got into it.
I have to seem like a challenge.
It is actually
But like
challenging.
you said, if you have a passion for something, some things just naturally flow over time.
True that.
That is quite amazing.
Here we have our bowl of fresh, crunchy veggies.
A colorful bowl.
Yay! So now in this, I'm not a fan of dressings from the shop.
Okay.
I like to make my own dressing, but very simple. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
So we can add some feta there.
I love feta cheese. Honestly, I can eat it just like this, but I won't do it on camera. It's just a bit unprofessional. Okay, usually I just break it into very small pieces.
And just throw in your olives in as well.
Not a big fan of olives though.
Really? I love me some olives. My daughter loves olives.
Your dog?
My daughter.
Oh, sorry. I was about to be like, you can't feed your dog olives.
No. She loves olives, as bitter as they are.
Oh no, I can't. Olive? No, thank you.
I can olive anytime, any day.
I can feta cheese anytime, any day.
Yeah, just sprinkle that on.
So like 2 blocks is usually a good way to go.
Okay.
You never have too much. Oh, it just crumbles immediately. There we go. Not too big. Like I said, I love a green salad, especially when the dressing is made from scratch.
Yeah, there we go. Just mix that, mix. Oh, this is lovely.
I love a very colorful green
lovely.
salad. Oops, just cheese everywhere. Give it a sec.
Yeah, and that's about it. So I don't dress my salad in the bowl. I usually just make a salad dressing on the side. So when I serve, then you just dress it yourself. Because sometimes if it stays too long and then now the lettuce starts wilting and the tomatoes as well. So I literally dress it like on the plate. So we're done with the salad. So dressing is basically on my side. I just use the olive oil, some balsamic vinegar, and then a little bit of salt and black pepper. You just mix that, and then you just sprinkle over it when it's already in the plate, instead of using all those.
Oh, my hands are dirty. Well, while we go check on our chicken and get down and dirty with the rest of our dish, we'll be right back after this short break. And we are back at my favorite part of the show, where I get to taste all of our hard work in the kitchen. So while we were on the break, we finished mixing everything with our rice. We got our mince, our bacon, our garlic and ginger that I was smelling the whole time. Our chicken is out of the oven, and guys, this looks amazing. We really have a chef in the kitchen. This looks amazing.
Oh wow.
We made our salad dressing, and the last thing that we needed to complete this dish was a cold Coca-Cola.
Ice cold Coca-Cola.
It's so nice and cold, and I feel like let's just dish up. Honestly, I can't wait anymore. Please dish up, because the aromas really, it's just calming me. I can see how you enjoy being in the kitchen, and how you say that the smells and the aroma just calm you, and you just escape with all of it. The way it's smelling here, I just want to eat, and I'm just happy. I just feel like I'll be happy after this. So why don't we dig in?
Okay.
I'll dish the chicken. You can go ahead with our green salad.
Okay. Let me help you.
Get to know Dr. Sue before she became Dr. Sue.
Yes.
Meaning, when you were a little girl, I want to know primary school Sue. Was there always a passion for the medical field? Was it just something you were like raised into? You saw on TV one day and you're like, said, oh no, Grey's Anatomy, that's me.
No, actually, hey. Funny story is in grade 12, I think after grade 12 now, when we had to now apply to university. So then, for some reason, my dad was convinced I was going to do media. Because I was that busybody. I was everywhere. I was in sports, I was in drama, I was in LRC, I was in so many leadership. I was everywhere. And the fact that I was so outspoken, I'm always in front, I'm always presenting stuff, he just thought, my daughter's going to be on TV. Okay, now we're sitting at the dinner table and he's like waiting, okay. I think it was now UNAM when I was filling in the applications for UNAM. I don't know, till today I actually don't know how, because I never said when I grow up I want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
And then I was like, at that time at UNAM they didn't have medical school of medicine, they had pre-medical sciences.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, I want to do medicine. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, Papa, I want to do medicine. He's like, you want to be a doctor? I'm like, yes.
This is not
He's
the
like,
daughter I raised.
no. And he literally said, talk to your mom, because you're not going, there's no way you're going to do media, you're going to be on TV. So now you like TV, you like being out there.
Oh.
And I was like, no, Papa, I want to do medicine. And here we are today.
Wow, it's the first time I hear a parent being like, no for medicine. It's usually like,
I think it's just because he was so convinced. He was so convinced that whatever I was going to do, or whatever field I was going to take, has to do with media, either on the TV or on the radio. Also because I used to do a lot of drama, and I did actually partake in it was like when was it? 2006, 7. There was like during the HIV pandemic. So I starred in a movie back in the days where I was the lead actress and whatnot. I think then he was just like, yeah, now this is my daughter. She's made for TV.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it was I never had, when I grew up, I want to be a doctor. No. I think I actually wanted to teach, because I just loved teaching. Every time I'll come from school, I would always take the kids around the neighborhood, and I'll teach them whatever I got taught at school for that day. I don't know, and then I grew up and I'm like, no, I'm not going to be a teacher. But you know, funny enough, even now as a doctor, now we like teach and mentor interns and stuff like that. So I'm still teaching, just not a teacher, but teacher in my field. Yes. So yeah.
I love that stuff.
Now do YouTube videos for medical stuff. Oh. Like I give videos on women's health. I'm starting a series on mental health as well. So maybe that's the TV part that's playing.
Yeah,
but
maybe that's what your dad was saying this whole time.
Maybe he just didn't know it was going to be with a degree of medicine. I don't know.
Are we ready for the moment of truth?
Yes, this is something normal to me. I'm actually waiting for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you dive in.
Let's do the chicken first.
Okay.
I feel like the chicken is the most important part of this entire dish. Here goes nothing, guys. Let's taste this chicken.
Okay.
Chicken is the one. I want to marry this chicken. I want to marry this chicken.
Chicken has put a ring on it already.
It did. Oh, this chicken is so good. Do you have the same hopes for your daughter?
No, to be quite honest, I want her to do whatever it is that she's called to do. Because of working in the mental field, I know the effects of a child or an individual doing a field of study that they're absolutely not interested in because of the pressures of the parents. So having that, there's no way I want my child to ever go through that.
Yeah, so before we love and leave our viewers, if anyone out there wants to reach out to either Dr. Sue or Sue's Kitchen, where can they find you?
Okay, I won't say unfortunately. Just for now, I don't have a private practice, so I work under the government. So if you have any mental health related issues, you don't have to specifically look for me, but you could always find our services at Central Hospital, at the Mental Health Care Center for anything that is mental health related. It's for free, so please don't feel overwhelmed or you feel like you're broke or you don't have money. We are available free of charge. We don't charge you 1 cent, okay? But for Sue's Kitchen, anything has to do with meal plans, meal prep. So if you want one of my pre-mixes, you can find us on Instagram at Sue's Kitchen. So on Instagram, it's sues.kitchen. You can find us on Facebook as well. I'm not sure if we're on TikTok, but for Dr. Suraia, everything health or medical related. I also make videos on contraceptions, women's health. I'm also busy doing a series on personal health as well and mental health. So on TikTok also Dr. Suraia, on Instagram Dr. Suraia, Facebook Dr. Suraia.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm sure our viewers will have a lot of questions for you. This was quite an enlightening episode, quite a delicious and a colorful dish that I got to make with you.
Thank
it
you.
was a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me, Patricia. Thank you so much.
Maybe we should invite you back so you can make the creamy cod, because
maybe.
It sounds quite delicious. But that's us. That's all from us here at What's Cooking. We hope to see you again on the next episode. Here with Dr. Suraia, and wow, what an amazing, amazing time I had in the kitchen. I'm gonna head off and finish my meal, but do not forget that we are here every Friday, same place, same time.